Have you ever been confused by technical jargon that seems to go over your head? If you've ever wondered about the difference between bitCount and bitLength in Java's BigInteger, you're not alone. Today, we're going to break it down for you. I totally get it. The descriptions for these methods can feel cryptic and leave you scratching your head. You're not the only one who finds it hard to distinguish between them. Many developers have faced the same confusion. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. What is the real difference between bitCount and bitLength, and when should you use each one? One user mentioned they often use count to count set bits, but rarely use bitLength, usually confusing it with bitCount. Sound familiar? Let's clarify this together. To understand the difference, we need to look at what each method actually does. bitCount returns the number of bits that are set to 1 in the 2's complement representation of the BigInteger, while bitLength gives you the total number of bits needed to represent the number, excluding the sign bit. Let's break this down further. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only know the difference, but also when to use each method effectively. Plus, I've got a handy tip that will make your coding life easier. To understand the difference between bitCount and bitLength, let's start with bitCount. This method returns the number of bits that are set to 1 in the 2's complement representation of a BigInteger, excluding the sign bit. Next, we have bitLength. This method returns the number of bits required to represent the BigInteger in its minimal 2's complement form, excluding the sign bit. For positive values, this is equivalent to the number of bits in the binary representation. Now let's clarify when to use each method. The user should use bitCount when they need to know how many bits are set to 1, which is helpful in applications like bit manipulation or bit vector operations. On the other hand, the user should use bitLength when they want to determine the size of the BigInteger in bits, particularly when dealing with storage or transmission of data. In summary, bitCount focuses on the number of set bits, while bitLength focuses on the overall size of the number in bits. Understanding these differences will help the user choose the right method for their needs. Fun fact, did you know that the concept of binary numbers dates back to ancient civilizations? The Chinese used a form of binary in their I Ching texts over 3,000 years ago. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. Another user provides an alternative perspective on using bitCount and bitLength. They explain that bitCount is useful for finding the number of integers in a set, while bitLength helps identify the largest integer in that set. They also mention the importance of getLowestSetBit for finding the smallest integer. The user also discusses the efficiency of different storage methods for bit sets. They suggest that for very sparse sets, using a sorted array or a hash table may be more efficient than the default Java implementation. Here's a quick tip. When working with big integers, always consider what you need to achieve. If you're counting bits, go for bitCount. If you need the size of the number in bits, use bitLength. This will save you time and confusion in your coding. And there you have it. You now understand the difference between bitCount and bitLength in Java's BigInteger. Remember, knowing when to use each method can make your coding much smoother. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tricks.